So we're going to take a look at a way that we can borrow or mine a color scheme off of one of Monet's studies. So a lot of times when we take a look at artists' work and we want to make work inspired by that work, it's good to borrow a principle or an idea. In this case, we're going to borrow a color scheme and then based off of value, use that scheme on a piece of our own. I think all of these are beautiful, but I really love the drama of this particular one. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. The next thing that we do is we are going to break up Monet's color palette in this piece into values, a range of values. I'm going to start with my darkest. If I'm looking very, very closely, this is actually more of a very deep purple on a nice chocolate brown color. So I'm going to start with my darker values over to the side. Okay, that is a purple, which is also in here as well. So, and then I'm going to kind of line up my colors as I go. So I definitely see this in there. So that value is going to be a middle value. All right, definitely that one. So we're working towards the lighter values. And for those of you who maybe don't use the art vocabulary daily like my students do, a value is simply a light or a dark. So if this were in black and white, what would our darkest values be? Ranging up gradually into our lightest. So I'm going to continue picking and choosing. There's not quite that really brilliant yellow, but maybe more of a mellow yellow. It's going to be towards the light end of the spectrum. We've got this gold here. Lovely. All right, so now I have this gorgeous, or at least analogous color palette. I'm all from one particular part of the color wheel. Other studies have very different kinds of color schemes. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move my color palette up a bit, and I am going to reference my black and white image. I have a very, very, very loose sketch. My main priority here is to make sure that my proportions are about where I want them, and I've kind of marked major points. When you have all the big things, the correct proportions and the correct positions, everything else can just be very loosely done. All right, now I'm going to move into a slightly lighter and just work my way up my value range. Now, if I make a mistake like here, you can see that's not nearly as dark as I made it out to be. That's okay, because I'm going to be layering onto it as I go. Moving up to my next lightest. I'm going to point out here that when I start layering some of the lighter values on top, especially in this area that's nice and foggy, I'm starting to blend over top my other colors, and it does a wonderful job with blending. This usually happens best, I find, if I do a light color over a dark. So I kind of save my blending for last. And there we have it, a quick painterly study of a black and white image done in the palette of a Monet.